I was born on September 4th, 1961 in San Jose, Costa Rica. Both my parents were born in Costa Rica, and my father was a tailor and my mother worked at the equivalent of the Social Security here. She lived in the neighborhood her whole life, and my father moved to that neighborhood when he was probably 18 or 19 years old, and that's how they met.
So my mom tells me that they met in Pasadena, California. My dad lived upstairs and she lived downstairs in a fourplex, I think it was. They ended up dating, and eventually they were married. Later they moved back to Mexico, Mexicali in Baja California. That's where the kids were born.
I was born in Mexico, in Guadalajara. I lived there for 12 years. My mom, she spent most of her time just dedicated at the house, cleaning, cooking, and providing with all the needs for us. And my dad, he was the one working. He works with animals and the ranch pretty much.
My parents are originally from Costa Rica. My father migrated to California in 1963, and he sent for my mom and my 4 siblings. He established himself and then brought them to the States to live with him. And I was born here in the States 10 years later.
My name is Kate McMillen. I am the project director for Library Innovation Lab, and what they want to do is help libraries create programming to welcome immigrants into the library. Going into the program, one of my favorite books, and I was doing story time, was Alma y cómo obtuvo su nombre, which is Alma and how she got her name. And it's a very cute story about a little girl with a big long Spanish name, and her dad is telling her how she got her name from each of her relatives.
Pues la historia sobre mi nombre, mi mamá quería el nombre de Patricia y mi papá quería que yo me llamara como mi mamá, Teresa. Entonces me pusieron Patricia Teresa.
My middle name is Maria, and my mother's first name was Maria, so I imagine there's a correlation there.
I was named after an actress that my mother enjoyed. Her name was Maureen O'Hara. My mother had tried to name all her girls Maureen, and it wasn't a favorite name of my father, so he would always say no. So when I was born, she was able to name me after Maureen O'Hara.
¿En tu comunidad existía una biblioteca, una librería ahí?
No.
¿Y ahora que vienes para acá con tus hijos?
Ajá.
¿Van usualmente aquí en la librería de Cambria?
Sí, siempre vamos a la librería de Cambria. Mis hijos, cuando son las vacaciones, van y hacen su hojita, que tienen que leer tantos libros, y les gusta, agarran premios, sí, porque leen durante vacaciones. Ajá.
I did spend a lot of time at the library and at the bookstore. My summers were spent going to the library and getting books and coming back and just reading, and it was very much a part of my life.
In Mexico, first of all, the technology was different. So back then, we only have the library where you can go and just borrow the books. In here, it's not only just, we don't not just have the access to the books, but we also have access at home.
Virtual reality was actually a former participant in the Library Innovation Lab had come up with that idea where through virtual reality you could visit your hometown. During the virtual reality, it was really cool to see the kids and the parents be able to share with the kids where they're from. It's a really cool piece of technology that has unlimited potential to take people places that they can't necessarily travel to. The movie in the park was super successful, and I think part of what made it so great was that we had the guest speaker Liliana Vega, and she was from University of California Extension, and she was able to really tie in to the movie theme, talking to parents about education opportunities. That really gave the outcomes of the program more depth.
The library for me, when I was growing up, was a very special place. I would rely on that. That was like my friend. I passed that on to my sons. As they were growing up from a very young age, I took them to the library and made sure they got their library card and taught them about the library. You want to learn anything, the library is where you go.